Hello, misadventurers. I am Kat Kirker, uh, often the dungeon master here at D20 Dames. My pronouns are she, her, and welcome to another stream of Apothecaria. And this time I can actually show the proper cover here. I'm playing Apothecaria. It's a solo potion making RPG in which I play a village witch named Maisie, who essentially is just curing ailments in this small village called Hyrannock. And I have uh, summoned a Kodama familiar who I've named Pinecone. Welcome, Andy. Thanks for joining again. And what else? That we've been up to quite a lot, actually. This is a really interesting solo RPG. So to recap, as I often do, because I really don't think you need to have watched the previous streams to really be caught up here. It's a solo RPG that uses a deck of cards as prompts for pretty much everything. I play Village Witch, who is in this village who, because the previous Village Witch has gone missing, we're not sure why. And that is part of the mystery. Hi, socialist. Hi. It's part of the mystery of, that we're trying to solve here. Nobody knows what happened to the village witch. So between curing these ailments and exploring the local area, Maisie is attempting to, piece together what's happened. The big thing that we're dealing with right now is um, we found Maisie discovered this beast in the loch, Meltwater Loch, which the her pal Theodulf the Druid told her about. Um, hey Adam, oh I'm so glad that you're liking the Wanderleaf campaign. Yeah, this stream is it's a little different than what we usually do because it is a solo stream, but it is very much in the cozy milieu. um, Yeah, so we're trying to. I'm currently an intermediate witch. If I cure two more ailments in this session, hopefully that will happen, then I will move on to advanced witchdom, which is awesome because that means I will be able to cure this. It's basically like a Loch Ness creature, I think, in this loch. Um, However, I have to go back to the lock. I have to get two more ingredients because I have to make 10 potions to cure this shattered tooth ailment because it's such a huge beast. Ordinarily, I just need to get one potion to cure, a regular villager. But because it's a massive creature, understandably, I've been collecting, as I've been foraging for reagents for other ailments, I have also, you know, just been foraging for um, the things I need for this shattered tooth cure, which we're going to name today, I hope, if we find this Bazbata creature. Um, I think that's the gist of what's been going on so far. We've done a lot of exploration in the area, and again, it's all based on writing prompts. So I have a deck of cards that I draw from. It allows me to see whether or not I have successfully foraged when I'm in the what I'm calling the spell health consult section of the game, where it's essentially, you get um, villagers come in and are looking for cures for ailments, and sometimes I'll have a timer on whether or not on how much time I have to actually forage for some of these reagents. And so far, I've been very successful, and I think it's because I've only been doing the novice and intermediate ailments. Once I get into the advanced and what's the next level? Expert. Um, I imagine they're going to be more difficult because the reagents themselves are going to be really difficult to find. Um, they have a higher what's called a foraging value, but we'll get to that when we get to that. The other cool things that we've done is we've sort of explored. We've done the village, had a spring festival in which I won a flower crown, and the flower crown allows me to forage more easily for um, regions that have a plant tag. Um, and my Kodama, who is my little familiar named Pinecone, um, allows me to forage for magic items more easily. We have found some clues about the missing village witch, and what's happening is when I get a joker in my deck of cards, I get a clue about the witch. There are 4 tables that I draw from, and I'm only on the second table right now. I was imagining that every witch level that I'm at, I'll progress to a new one. Latina Geek, you have not missed anything. I always recap because I want to make sure that if anybody's just jumping in from not having seen anything before, um, they at least get a quick overview, because I really don't think, again, that you need to watch all the other ones, but encourage you to if you're enjoying this. So I've got 4 tables here that are about discovering clues about the witch. And as a novice witch, I drew from the first steps table, and really it was, they were just little things that I discovered about the witch. Like her favorite novel was, what did I call it? Boba Yoga and the Raven's Dream. So it was about a tasseomancer essentially, and then eventually discovered I drew inspiration from that to make it seem like this village witch was really into tea. So, she has, gifted the village basically with this beautiful tea garden. So they can harvest, it's a community tea leaf garden. So you can just harvest your tea leaves from this beautiful garden. Her favorite um, dessert is a tea cake, which literally has like tea leaves in it. And that was dropped off by a visiting wizard who mistook me for her. Um, and what else? Um, oh, we got a postcard from her cousin, who is also a witch in a coven. But because it was a postcard, could not respond or get more information. We've met a few um, locals, I guess. Like obviously when I'm curing ailments, meeting all the villagers, have had a couple repeat customers, repeat patients. But also we've met a naiad in the river who Maisie may or may not, be enthralled with, not magically, just like enchanted, because a naiad is just this beautiful river creature who, you know, helped her when she tripped in the river. Um, and also, while exploring the mountain, we met a giant and found a giant shrine, and said that next time we went to the mountain, we would maybe talk to Orog the giant about it. Um, when we went to the loch, we haven't gone back to the loch to do an exploration because the creature is there, and concerned because it's really mad because it's got a shattered tooth, um, that harm might come to us or Pinecone until we have all the ingredients to help it out with this potion, or these 10 potions. Um, we met a dwarf there. Yeah, we've met just like a whole bunch of fun NPCs, I guess. Um, Going to the mountain, that was really funny because basically all the cards I was drawing had not great animal encounters. And then we went to Hero's Hollow, which is a dungeon built in the bones of I said it was a thorn dragon, I think. Um, and those encounters were also kind of rough. Fell immediately into a prison cell and had to pick a lock to get out. Yeah, I keep thinking back about that sheep in the cave too. Hey Jane, happy Monday to you too. Anyway, so I guess we're just gonna pick up with some Spella Health consults here, because um, my reputation right now is 20, which means I just need 2 more in order to become an advanced witch. So my goal in this session today is to advance to that level and then go to Meltwater Loch. And hopefully I have a timer essentially of 13 cards to pull. I know, it's so close. Yeah, I have a timer of 13. Essentially, I could go over the timer, but it'll impact my reputation, and my reputation will go down. So we don't want to do that. Um, I guess it's sort of like, oh, she's taking 13 weeks of downtime or 13, whatever, 13 days of downtime. And then the villagers kind of get annoyed or something. I guess rightfully so, because so many of them, basically every week, there's a new ailment. So, all right. So here we go. I'm going to open up my document. I have this. So the book is sort of written in the point of view of the former village witch, which I think is really fun. Because she has these cute little notes in here about all of the ailments. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a card. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do is shuffle my deck. All right. So we have 5. Oh, we've had this one before. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is just going to quickly go back in my journal because I want to see what my cure was for this. Because I feel like, oh, what happened to this page here? Oh no. I think if you look in my Patreon, there are a few pages that got written over. Oopsie. Something really weird happened with. Oh no. I apologize if my journal entries look really weird lately, or if this is maybe just a glitch in my current reading right now. But it looks like a whole bunch of my posts got just copy and pasted over. Huh. All right. Well, I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close out of this. Bear with me for a moment. I'm hoping that this is just like an error in the app itself. Yes, it was. Phew. Okay. Looking over some of these names from the past. Marmaduke Hedgehopper. I remember that fellow. So we're looking for a loss of experience. Loss of experience. It was. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste this. I'll open up my journal here. Miramis Undertree is the first person who got this ailment, and what I will do is copy. Here we go. paste. I should not have done that. I should have erased this first. So for anyone who is new joining here, this is essentially this stream. It is just, like I said, it's a pretty cozy one. Fairly low stakes. I don't think anything super dangerous actually happens. At least so far, the stakes have really been, just reputation and reducing the timer and that sort of thing. This is fairly different than what we usually stream or what we usually do on our podcast, but also similar because it's so cozy. All right, so I'm going to read from the journal as the village witch. Andy, thank you for noting that you didn't see anything weird in the Patreon. It was just a really weird glitch. It was basically, it looked like all of my previous journal entries had been like copy and pasted on top of each other, and then it was just like I can't read any of this. Oh no. All right, loss of experience from the perspective of the former village witch. So what she says is, mostly a concern for adventurers, the afflicted feel sluggish and morose, as if they have lost a measure of their essence and are no longer good at things they once were. All right, so what I'm going to write here in my journal again is I'll draw the patient name. What I've been doing is I've been going to random fantasy name generator and just grabbing hobbit names. So I will do that because I'm not gonna inflict this on the same villager. Sometimes I do when it's fun. Like we have one villager who is constantly getting basically anything that's related to love interest ailments. She had like warts from a frog or something at one point. All right. Oh, this is a pretty name. Donna Mira. Let's find a different last name. Not wise. What occupation will Donna Mira have? What do you think her profession could be? Baker. How about baker? All right, so I think Maisie is in the cottage, maybe tidying up after coming back from the Heroes Hollow downtime that we had in the last episode. And she's sort of sweeping at the front stoop when there's a figure that sort of shambles along the path towards the cottage, and she just sort of says, Can I help you? You seem to be a bit, well, I don't mean to judge, but you seem to be a bit downtrodden. Um, you're the baker, aren't you? I just had a bit of your cake the other day. It's quite quite tasty. What seems to be the matter? You don't seem quite sure that uh, it was a delicious treat. No? Oh, I see. You seem oh, you know, I just had another patient the other day that had the same sort of sort of affliction. Of course, I can't say who it was, but I believe you've got a bit of a case of loss of experience. It isn't too much to worry about, as I've been able to cure it before. It's a matter of heading out to get a few ingredients, and then I can just be right back, and you'll be back to baking those delicious um, goods that you make. And trust me, they're quite good. Um, perhaps perhaps you ought to just take a bit of a stroll, have some fresh air, let your sous chefs or sous bakers um, take take over the kitchen for a bit. Just give yourself a break, and I'll be back as quick as possible, and you'll be um, right back in the kitchen, as it were. All right, so Maisie is going to go off to is it the Glimmerwood Forest, I think is where these ingredients are. So what we have here, uh, named by Socialist Pie, we've got a potion called Mojo Mix. It consists of fairy dust, glitter snow, and songberries. And I need to find, so the potion has the tags of mood and magic. The mood is a 2-star rating and magic is 1 star. This has all already been predetermined though, because we do have handily a potion we can refer back to. So all I have to do is within 4 turns um, get these items. Fairy dust is actually fair. It should be a fairly easy one to get because Pinecone, my Kodama, allows me to forage for magic items and reduce it by 3 points. So I just have to beat a 6 on my card pull. And then Glitter Snow is also magic. And we are in the summer season, uh, which makes it actually more difficult to get. That's unfortunate, but I'm going to check which part of the forest I can go to, because there are different parts that are. It's like a Forest Loch Mountain dungeon. So I can. That will be a 9 minus 3, so a 6 for that one. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to yeah, draw my cards and see what I get here. So for Fairy Dust, I need to beat a 3. I have 4 turns to do this in. Oh, no, an ace. Bomp, bomp. Okay, so that's a fail. Now I have 3 turns. Worst case scenario is I will come up with a different potion if I have the reagents in my resources list. Queen. All right, so successfully have procured Fairy Dust. And I'll read the entry here from the former village witch talking about fairy dust, just so everyone can hear. Some of these entries are hilarious. Um, Difficult to get straight from the source. Thankfully, the little blighters don't worry too much about cleaning up after themselves. Check toadstools or leave a fairy trap outside. So I imagine that Maisie is just like with Pinecone, just like looking um, under little mushrooms and toadstools for little dustings of fairy fairy dust, fairy remnants. I'm not sure. Oh no, another ace. Okay, I have one more, and then we will see for glitter snow. And for this one, I need to get a what was it? A 6. Jack. Whew. Okay. So I think Maisie, gathers these ingredients. Took a little bit longer than she thought it was going to, but thankfully she's able to get everything, and mixes up this potion, gives it to the baker, and we have successfully cured another ailment here. Um, let's see. Um, so as an intermediate witch, any potion that I successfully make is 30 silver pieces. If I add songberries, which I have in my garden, that adds what's called that adds sweet as an ingredient, and that adds +4 um, silver to my earnings. So I get 34 silver for that. And for anyone who didn't see last week, I had to retcon something because I had collected a bunch of antlers, I think it was, and I couldn't do that unless I had a wand. So I spent 100 silver pieces on a wand. I think it was 100 anyway. I'm gonna double check that now. Yeah, 100 silver. So it allows to collect certain items. I had been saving for a greenhouse for my Kadama, but we'll just have to earn that at some other point, because I didn't want to try figuring out some other way of fixing that error. All right, so I reduced my earnings so far, and now we're at 372 silver. Reputation goes up 1 to 21, and we are now in this was week 10 of our time here. When we get to week 13, we have a festival that happens. And as I said at the top of the recording, we've already experienced one festival. It was a spring festival, which was quite fun because there was oh my gosh, one of the NPCs in town is named Bildad, and he's kind of reminiscent of Sildad from our Good Fortune campaign, if you've heard that. Just really like rad dad, former Disney prince kind of character. All right, so what I'm going to do now is add another journal entry because I think, hopefully, if all goes right and I haven't jinxed myself, if we cure this next patient, we'll move up into advanced witchdom, which means we can go to Meltwater Loch and attempt to find the Basbata and cure it of Shattered Tooth. I do, however, need to forage. I think I can do that while I'm in the lock for the first little bit. I'll just draw a couple cards for that. All right, so to make things easy for myself, I'm just going to copy all of this. Paste it. And then I will delete all of this. I hope we get a new ailment, because I like being able to figure out what we need to forage for and what we need to name the potion. I always appreciate your suggestions in chat, because some really funny and clever names that come out of this. Okay. All right, here we go. Go back to my intermediate ailments. And here we go. We have drawn a 10. Oh, new one. Okay. So here's how we do these new ones. I essentially just going to write some notes for myself before I do any role play for Maisie, just to give me some time to sort of process everything. So I'm going to grab a name and then write down all this information. Here we go. Yes, Santifer is a great name. Uh, those random name generators are fantastic, especially for the Hobbit names. I thought they were really great. All right. So I'm thinking that the following week, Maisie is possibly in the garden again, tending to the songberries with Pinecone. And we're focused in watering and fertilizing the little garden plot. When Pinecone looks up sort of like tugs on my skirt, the hem of my skirt, and I look over and see what Pinecone sees, um, and um, and it looks like a fairly young man, but his hair is just like shockingly white. Um, and he just looks really haggard. Um, so Maisie waves over, um, and just sort of says, um, "Hello there. Uh, can I help you? Are you looking for for some help from the village witch? That would be me, Maisie. Um, what's your name? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Can you speak up? You can't. Um, uh, well, come on into the cottage, and I'll get you some paper, if you can write." Um, and so she brings him inside and gives him like quill and ink and paper, and he starts writing. Um, and she's reading over his shoulder. Oh my. Um, yes, I I know exactly what you have. You've got a case of a terrible fright. Um, yes, having seen something so horrifying, so terrifying, so unbelievably scary, your hair has turned white, and you've torn your throat, and you've torn your throat from screaming. What on earth could it have been? Oh, you went to the loch and you saw the beast, did you? It gave us a bit of a fright too. Um, never you, don't you worry about that beast though. It's a waterlocked, as it were, landlocked or waterlocked, as it were. Um, can't come on land, um, and it has a bit of a toothache. So possibly not as frightening as it would be if it didn't have some massive pain and infection in its face. Um, but never you mind. I will head out to the local area if I haven't got the ingredients right here on hand, and we'll be able to cure you no problem. Just don't think about the beast. You know, have a lie down, um, meditate. Um, got got the got a nice little sand circle that Theodulf built over here for meditation. If you want to um, just relax and take your mind off things. Um, uh, Jane, the gas and electricity bill is exactly what frightens me too lately. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I will go back to my journal here. Um, so what we have here is we do I do anytime I have something with a mood tag, um, if it is a low enough rating, I can just add Songberry to it. Let me just check. Where are Songberries? All right, so Songberries only have a 1-star rating, so that means I actually do have to head out and grab some other things. So I'm going to go over to, just one moment here. I have a list of my resources. Um, yeah, so here's what we're going to do. I think we will forage. The timer is 6. Um, if I'm not able to get something um, for mood, that's okay because I have a whole bunch of resources sort of stockpiled. However, I do need to find something for hair and preferably something for pain because I don't want to have to give up what I have collected for curing the Bazbata creature in Meltwater Loch. All right, so here we go. We're gonna try looking for hair pain first. And okay, for those not familiar with how to forage here, one of the things is with this, I have a timer. Oops, what happened here? I mix this up here. Timer and tags should be reversed. Okay, so what was I saying? So there's a timer of 6, which means I have 6 turns to, draw these cards, and if I'm not able to get all the reagents within the 6 turns, there could be a consequence. Um, what else? Every time I move locations, I also reduce the timer by 1. So ideally, I'm going to find everything in one location. No, that's fine, Jane. Keep thinking, because I'm looking forward to hearing what the names could possibly be for this. All right, so hair, pain, and mood. So I'm going to go through my list here and try to find a location that has all 3, preferably. But like I said, I do have some other reagents for mood that could potentially help us out here. All right, so hair and pain in Glimmerwood Grove. Nothing in Glimmerwood Grove. Meltwater Loch has pain. There are a couple items that have the pain tag. There's one that has the hair tag. Oof. That one is really difficult to get, though. Oh, there's a mermaid one here, though. Could do that. All right, so hair and pain can do at Meltwater Loch. Just taking a quick peek at Moonbreaker Mountain. I've got pain tag here for a couple things. Mood. No hair. Hero's Hollow. Hair. Pain. And mood. Okay, let me just make sure that these are ones that I can collect. Hair. Pain. And mood. Okay, so for this, we've got in Hero's Hollow. Here are the reagents that we've got for this. Skeleton dust. That's for the hair. For the pain, skull cap. And then for the mood is vampire venom. And I will read the witch's journal entry or entries for these reagents, so you get some inspiration here as well. So for skeleton dust, the former witch wrote, while regular skeletons do work, those reanimated through necromantic rituals are better as the residual magic keeps their bones strong for longer, which is what you want. While regular skeletons do work, those reanimated through necromantic rituals are better as the residual magic keeps their bones strong for longer, which is what you want. All right. And then for skullcap, um, these morbid little mushrooms look almost exactly like shrunken human skulls. When they spore, the jaw breaks open and releases the cloud like a cough. Ooh, creepy. I love it. And then finally, vampire venom. Used to be you'd get this by wearing a pigskin neck with a skein underneath to catch the venom, but they got wise to it. Now you have to extract it while they're sleeping. Okay. Um, all right, so first things first, I'm gonna go with Pinecone to Hero's Hollow, which is the dungeon that's built under the remains of a thorn dragon, and we were visited in last session. So skeleton dust, it is a magic item that it can be found in a dungeon. The rating for this is a 5, but because Pinecone is with me, it is going to be reduced to a 2. So I have to beat a 2. And I got a 5. So first item is collected, skeleton dust. Next I have to get skull cap, and this can be found in the dungeon. It is a plant, and because I have a flower crown, which I won at the flower festival, um, the rating is a 2. It can be reduced by 2 down to a minimum of 1, so I just have to beat an ace. So whatever I get is I got it. All right, so now my timer is down to 4. So I have, this is good because the vampire venom is, it has an animal tag. In the dungeon, it is a 10 rating. So I have 4 turns to beat a 10 in this draw. 7 fails. 4 fails. 6 fails. Are we gonna do it? Oh no. Ace fails. However, being a resourceful witch, I'm going to go through and see if I have a different reagent in my resource pool. So it just has to be a mood rating of 2 stars. So I'm going to remove vampire venom here from my list. Okay, and then, oops, I'm going to go through my resource list here. Songberries are not strong enough. Amethyst antlers. I have 2 of those, which I got in my journey somehow. I can't remember. I think they might have been gifts or I stumbled upon them. I can't recall exactly. I think there are a forest item. Amethyst antlers. Excellent. Okay, this is a 3-star rating, so definitely can use these. I will just mark down that I'm going to use that from my resources. Bring it down to a 1. And then I'm going to add it to my journal. Amethyst antlers. Okay. All right, so what have we got here? What I'm gonna go back over some of the possible names. Turn the shock back. What's the opposite of shock? Comfort. Quiet comfort. Oh, I like that. Mood reductus. Reanimated. Still, I've lost you. Oh my gosh, Skelecom. That's so good. I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that one. Socialist pie, Skelecom. All right, gonna write this down. That's 32. Reputation goes up 1, and now we're in week 11. All right, so I feel like Maisie like comes back. You should be proud of that one. It's good. It's like that's fully a Dames inspired pun inspired name. Um, I think Maisie comes back from Heroes Hollow, and it's just like she sees Werenbert Sandhoover in the sand in the garden, um, the meditation garden where he's probably like playing around in the sand, um, and sort of harried, like really going through resources, just sort of like I know I've got it. I know I've got that missing ingredient. It's here somewhere. Perhaps in downtime I ought to um, reorganize my reagents, and so she finds what she's looking for, mixes it together. I think in the rush doesn't add the songberries, but gets the 30 silver pieces. We now have a total of 402 silver. We're 98 silver pieces away from getting that coveted greenhouse for Pinecone. However, more importantly, we are an advanced witch now. Um, yeah, that's exciting, right? I feel like the next step, as soon as she realizes that she just realizes that she has pushed herself and challenged herself enough, and she just feels more confident in her ability now. Um, and so now, as an advanced witch, um, I can cure more advanced ailments. Again, those are going to be more difficult to find the reagents for. Could possibly be more failure. Um, but I do get more gold, and the more gold I get, the more things I can purchase. Um, I saw somewhere here like there were things like there are things that I can't buy that are really cool though. It's like I could get a golem helper or like a mimic. Um, the things I can buy are um, I could get a sickle that helps with foraging. It increases foraging by 2 instead of 1. Um, the broom lets me fly. Coracle allows me to navigate in Blastfire Bog, which it actually isn't even open yet. I think if I cure the buzz bladder, that's what opens up for me. Okay, so with that, um, exciting. Thank you everyone for the congratulations. Thank you for joining me on this journey towards advanced wisdom. We still have quite a bit more to do. However, I'm going to take a 5-minute break, and then I think we're going to head to Meltwater Loch, and try to get that card drawn so that we can get the beast to show up again. Fingers crossed. Um, yes, please go get your coffee. Yeah, I'll be about 5-ish minutes, maybe a little bit longer, but I will see you back here to do some investigation and hopefully get this beast cured. I've been really eagerly waiting to see what happens after we do this. All right, I will be back shortly. All right, and we are back. So, if you're just joining for the second half, welcome. And Maisie has made it to Advanced Witchdom, which is, as if you've been following along, this has been a goal for a while because a few sessions ago, Maisie went to Meltwater Loch and met the Basbata, which is, I think it's sort of like a Loch Ness type dragon water creature, and it was in a lot of pain because it had a shattered tooth ailment, and I've been collecting reagents for 10 potions to help cure this beast. However, I couldn't actually cure it until not only I had the reagents, but also um, I gained enough knowledge to become an advanced witch. So now that has happened. I do have to collect two more. Let me just double check here what the ingredients were. Two more slime shells, which are available in Meltwater Loch. So I think what I'm going to do now is head to Meltwater Loch, grab those slime shells for my first two actions, and then spend the rest of my turns trying to trigger the encounter with the beast. Yeah. So I have 13 turns during any of my downtimes. Taking any longer results in reputation dropping because I think the villagers start to think that the village witch isn't really doing her job or is, taking too much time off, which I guess fair. All right, so I'm going to first of all attempt, hopefully, to get two slime shell in 2 turns. So slime shell, according to the witch's notes, it is 2-star rating. Can get it in the lock. It has um, um, a reagent rating of 4, so I have to beat a 4 to collect it. And she wrote, found in shallow waters and rock pools, these fist-sized clams produce a handy slime that kills parasites and fights infection, keeping the frail mollusks safe and sound. So yeah, hopefully I can just I'll be able to get this in 2 turns and then spend the rest of the time. Oh, actually, there is a note here that says in the summertime the I can reduce it by 2. I guess because there's probably more clams in the summertime. All right, here we go. First one is a 4, so we got 1 slime shell. And second one is a 2. We got 2 slime shells back to back. I'm going to go into my resource list and just note that I update this to 10. So I have the reagents. I'm just gonna say that she's an advanced witch now. She probably can like light a fire and do all this brewing out in the wild. So I'm gonna go into my journal here. Just going to write a quick note that like a journal entry just to say, got all the ingredients and made the potion. However, actually, could use some help naming it. What do we have here? All right, so I'm going to write this in chat so that you can see what it is. Shattered tooth. Oops. Shattered tooth reagents. There are shield caps, slime shells, and innocence suffering. All right. So these are the three things that help with shattered tooth in the potion. So we can think about some names for this. Something like suffering shield for this sufferer, something like that. Yes. Shell shield. Shattered shell. Oh, that's nice. Shattered shield shell. Maybe shattered shell shield. Yes. All right, here we go. So I will write my journal entry. Oops. This spot is there's two accents. A second. All right. So here we go. Yeah, it is indeed a tongue twister here, trying to say that 5 times fast. All right, so here we go. Feeling more confident in my abilities, I returned to Meltwater Loch with Pinecone in search of the Bazbata. We quickly gathered the last of the slime shell reagents needed to cure the beast of its shattered tooth. Now to find the creature to administer 10 potions of shattered shell shield. All right, so we have the potions made, and I'm going to bring up Meltwater Loch for all the writing prompts. Also going to add a page here. Make a note here that I have now 11 turns to find this creature. So I drew a 9 for the writing prompts. All right. The prompt says, you hear the most beautiful singing coming from one of the islands. Compelled, you row over as quickly as you can and meet a siren sat upon the rocks. They apologize for luring you over with their practicing and offer to catch a fish of your choice to make amends. Every time you get this result, write about your time with the melodic nuisance. It's cute. Just gonna write my journal entry again. Just gonna grab a name. Fantasy generator. Okay. So I'm on this fantasy name generator uh, site and looking at these mermaid names, and seriously, one of the names is Karen. Like, really? All right, so um, yeah, that's very true, Jane. If humans have to deal with Karens, then merfolk do as well. All right, so next journal entry is uh, while rowing in the lake, I was taken in by the melodic song of someone in the distance. Compelled by the enchanting tune, I made my way to an island to discover a siren who was deeply apologetic for having lured me with her practice. After introducing herself as Una, she offered to catch a fish of my choice for the trouble. I'll have to stop my ears with cotton when I visit next. Um, Adding a page, and now our timer is down to 10. Now we have a jack. Interesting. A giant has left some tremendous item of theirs on the loch shore. A building-sized sword, a bath-sized helmet, or a skein of mead big enough for an entire village. Besides its size, what is the most what is most striking about the object? Does the giant come back for it? Do you think our friend Orog left all of this behind? I want to say yes, because I can't imagine there's like a whole bunch of giants just wandering the area. Um, I'm gonna say it is this kind of mead because I feel like, or maybe not. I think narratively, is it giant time? It might be giant time. Um, I feel like Orog, you know, we we met them on the mountain, and then we found the shrine, the the giant-sized shrine to the forest guardian. Um, but I'm kind of thinking that Orog is the forest guardian, and that other creatures built that shrine to them. So um, maybe it is a sword. Um, and perhaps the most striking thing about the object is that it has whatever the symbol is that we saw at the shrine. Um, maybe it's like a silhouette of a mountain um, with a sun behind it. And I think Maisie recognizes it. So I'm going to write that journal entry next. Do I have space here? No. All right. Um, uh, so I've written here, exploring further, something rather large caught my eye on the shore. It turned out to be a sword the size of a large building. Upon closer inspection, I saw the symbol of the mountain guardian on it, when suddenly a large splash from the lake startled me. Pinecone hid behind me, thinking it was the Basbata. In fact, it was our friend Orog the giant, bathing in the lake. We waved at each other, and I gave him a moment to dry off before we sat by a fire to talk. All right. So I imagine Maisie and Orog, sort of talk about him being the actual mountain guardian there. All right, we've got about 20 minutes, and we're down to 9 here. Let's see what's next. Okay, that's a repeat. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out how to deal with this Joker, because the Joker it triggers um, it triggers a clue about the witch. I guess I'm just gonna throw it in here because maybe there's. I'll see if it works though. That's a repeat because it was a king. Okay, there's a 6 here. What I'm going to say is that Auric actually has information about the witch, because the prompt is you find out about the witch's education. What were they like as a student, a prodigy, a problem, or were they self-taught? Um, I think that this witch was self-taught, but that no, she's not self-taught. Orog is her I guess helped her along the way, educated educated her in witchy things. Not a witch themselves, but him not a witch himself, but I think maybe he assisted in the magical knowledge that he knows from being a giant and a giant mountain guardian. All right. So I'm going to write my journal again. like we should name, finally get the name of this former village witch. Let's see. Ooh, I like this. Dahlia Wolfmoon. All right. Here we go. I have next journal entry is Auroch told me a bit more about the former village witch. Dahlia Wolfmoon was a brilliant witch who eagerly took up the magic of the mountain guardian. They shared much knowledge over many cups of tea over the years. He wonders what may have befallen her. Okay, now we are down to 8. Goodness. We have 15 minutes left to possibly find this creature, I think. 1, 2, 8. I'm counting backwards here. Done 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 5 more to go. Should have been doing it backward the other way. Okay, let's see. Oops. 10. All right. While exploring one of the shallow wrecks, you find a skeleton huddled over a barnacle-encrusted chest. Whatever is inside can't have monetary value, or someone else would have taken it by now. Do you bring the chest ashore or leave it be? If you do take it, what is inside? Well, I mean, clearly we have to take it, right? um, but what could be inside that doesn't have any monetary value? I know the time has completely flown by. I don't even know. I think we might need to do a part 2 because I do have a hard stop today. Um, But what is the thing that we find in this chest that does not have monetary value? Um, like a journal, maybe? Yeah, a poem. Maybe it's a book of poems. How about that? Um, with annotations from whoever it is that owned the journal. And it will be a poetry book about hmm, just about, I think it's going to be just about like love and romance and it was left behind in this chest for some reason. But I want to have the annotations in there because maybe that's part of the reason why somebody didn't take it because they thought it was it doesn't have any value because it had somebody's notes in it. But I think Maisie um, puts a lot of value in that sort of thing. Um, all right. Next journal entry is after our nice chat, we parted ways and I made my way to one of the shallow wrecks, where I discovered a skeleton huddled over a barnacle-encrusted chest. Pinecone helped me wrest the item from the bony clasp of the skeleton. Inside was a book of romantic poems with annotations from a reader. Okay. Oh, we're so close to noon my time. We do one more. Down to 4. If the next one isn't the Basbata, I think I'm going to pause and finish this downtime. in the next session. I might need to do it anyway, but we'll pull this card and see what we get. Fingers crossed it is a king. Yep. It's a 7. Oh, this is cool. Okay, I think I am going to pause here, but I will tell you what happens because it is a nice cliffhanger. As the sun goes down and the mist rises from the loch, you see the shape of a ship rising from the water beside you. The ghostly crew spot you and invite you aboard. Every time you get this result, write about your relationship with these undead sailors and the tall tales they tell you. So this is a good spot to just leave it. I will think about the conversations and the fun stories that these undead sailors talk about. And yeah, we did quite a lot today. I mean, the most exciting thing is that Maisie is now an advanced witch. And we're so close to possibly curing this this beast. Yes, Jane, feel free. Go write some of these tall tales in our Discord. I would love to hear about them. Yeah, so the next session we're just going to pick up right in Meltwater Loch. Got how many more turns? 4 more turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got 3 more turns. Well, this is, yeah, after this one I have 3 more turns. So we'll just pick up next time on Monday, May the 15th. And hopefully we'll draw a king. You know, there are a couple items here that I think if I repeat them, I'm not going to do them again. Actually, I might have miscounted, so we might have more turns because I did get doubles here that I didn't do. So I will review that also. So yeah, we'll pick up with the ghost ship, which is really cool, and then hopefully we'll be able to get the trigger encounter with the Buzzbot and cure it. So thank you for continuing to follow the journey of Maisie the village witch and her Kodama familiar pinecone. I really appreciate everyone in chat for you know, contributing all the ideas in the chat. Yeah, I think Maisie being friends with undead sailors is pretty darn cool. She's got a lot of really cool friends actually. The giant is also I like that. Yeah, if you want to see my journal entries, I post them on our Patreon, which is available at $2, $5, and $10 tiers. Also opens up our Discord, where we have a very active, fun community, very kind community. We just had a book club about our last book was Legends and Lattes, and we have had a really good track record of actually being able to get the authors in our book club chats. So Travis Baldry was in our chat yesterday. Anyway, patreon.com/d20dames is where you can find the journal entries. I usually post them probably like the night before the stream goes live, but all of my journal entries are there, and then all the previous videos are available on our YouTube channel. Yeah, and anyway, I really appreciate everyone who's here, who's been joining each of these streams. This has been a very fun game. Again, it's Apothecaria by Anna Blackwell, a solo potion making RPG. I think it feels like a friendship making RPG because of all the NPCs. All right, well, until next time, this adventure awaits.